So today we're going to talk about what to expect at Gencon. Like I said before, I've been testing a lot for the past 2 weeks with Penchi and the professor, aka Bradley. So we come up with a bigger tier list and we tested different decks. I think there's 4 extra decks on my list right here that I'm going to show a bit later. I'm RustTCG and welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please give a subscribe, like, and comment below what type of content you would like to watch. And let's not waste time and jump into this list. So right here, this is the same list as July 20th, which is last week when I released the last minute tier list post-ban list. And today we're gonna go follow up with the 4 new lists right here that we've been testing lately. And we've been crafting a lot, and that tier list will be my prediction for Gencon to know what will be the potentially top deck list to be playing, and also that I expect to top 8 into Gencon. So right here, we're gonna go over reviewing what I think was good prediction and what was bad prediction from last week. So MF G Gundam G Fighter is still the best deck, I think, in the format of GDO5. So this will remain as the first deck that's staying in S tier. I think that Destiny is very good, but most likely you're gonna lose to G Fighter because Red White is just too good. So I'll bump that down to A tier. It has the answer to majority of the meta against aggro, but I don't think it will contest well enough if G Fighter is like majority of the meta. Like I think like 25% of the meta. It's the hardest deck to pilot, G Fighter, but I think that it's gonna beat a lot of decks in the current format. Wing is very good, but I don't think it will stay at tier S, so I'll bump it down to tier A. 1 Year War is very good, but I think it lose hard to G Fighter. Like there's no way that 1 Year War can beat G Fighter. So I'm bumping also down to tier A because it's good against majority of the deck, but it loses to G Fighter. And CB is good, but I don't think CB is a tier A deck. I'll bump it down to tier B. Also, my very favorite deck, Purple White, it'll go to tier B also because it will replace by another deck that I will mention a bit later. Red White will stay Red White. It deserves its spots, but I don't think Red White will be that good, but it's still a tier A. Dio Blue White, it's not as good as before, so it's gonna be a tier B. Over here, I think Purple White Vulture has a lot of chances in a tier A. And Clan, it's very dangerous because I've been seeing a lot of Clan deck topping recently. It's very, very aggressive, and I didn't test it much enough, but it's insane just because aggro is not in the meta anymore. So I think Clan is the underrated deck that people are sleeping on. So I think it will stay at tier A. Potentially it could be a tier S, but I'm not sure how good it is against MF G Fighter, Red White. So I'll leave it as a tier A, but is to be discussed. Like I said, Destiny is very good, but it's also like a little bit of like free-for-all jungle meta that every deck can win based on how you tech against your worst matchup. So anything that's tier A is good enough to be a tier S, depending on what is topping and what the majority of the playing field that people are thinking about the current meta. So now I'm pretty sure you guys are very excited. I'm gonna jump into the most interesting deck after GDO5 come into play. So we're gonna go with the blue-white Strike Freedom that you guys been talking about. Like one of you guys commented to say like, I think Abo was saying that is a tier S deck. I think blue-white will be a V Gundam Strike Freedom deck. So it's not, I don't think it's an S tier, but it's a very, very good into the current meta. but it's not broken enough to be good matchup against every single deck. So in order to be at tier S, is that you need to be at least minimum 50-50 into the meta and win against majority of the decks before you can be at tier S. So the example is G Fighter is more than 50% against the majority of the deck, but also 50% against their worst matchup. So that's why G Fighter is a tier S, but I don't think Strike Freedom Victory Gundam is a tier S. So I'll put it as the top of the list for tier A. And over here, we have one of the top deck that I think in the format will be a green-blue new Gundam playing 8 Amros. So that deck is just insane. Like, Amro was always the best pilot in the game, and I think Kira was the second pilot, but I think Kira is not the second best pilot anymore, but still the top 3 pilots in the game. So new Gundam is very dangerous because you're playing 8 Amros in the deck with level 5 Amro. So you have level 4 Amro plus level 5 Amro. That's just like so broken. You can just like eat unit alive for free. So that's why I think the most contested deck for G Fighter will be blue, green, new Gundam. And there's still like a lot of decks circulating online. Like, I think Japanese has a lot of lists circulating with both tier S deck. So I don't have a precise deck list yet, but I'm still testing on my pre-GDO5 list that we've been testing for the past 2 weeks. And I know you guys are very excited for the deck list, but I will try to make videos about the gameplay so you guys can have an idea of the deck, how it plays, but we don't have a precise deck list at the moment in the format. And the other deck that I think that will be contesting the 2 tier S deck is the reason why I'm putting it as a tier S and not a tier A is because it's an anti-meta deck. So it's a blue-red Strike Freedom that I'll be posting a lot of gameplay that I'll be testing against the current meta. And those are the potential 3 top deck that we're going to see this weekend at Gencon, which is I'll be attending. If you guys gonna see me, come say hi, and I will chit chat with you guys about what I'll be playing. But hope to see you guys. But if you guys are not going to Gen Con, then I'll post a lot of updates. I might be vlogging. Finally, I might drop a vlog about my travel. I have like a backlog of like 6 or 7 vlogs that I still didn't got a chance to edit. So maybe if you guys are an editor, maybe hit me up. You would like to edit my videos, I don't know, like just hit me up on Instagram or on X. If you guys are on X or on Instagram, just give me a follow. My link is bottom in the descriptions of this video. So I'm most likely going to reply to my message, to my DMs. And the last deck that I need to talk about will be the replacement of the purple-white. I'll be playing purple-red. It's a Lupus with Zazabi and also like the pinging part of the red. And since we have the new drawing engine, potentially I'm testing the new Overflowing Affection, the red version of it, which is, I forgot the name of the card, but it's like discard 1, draw 2. And that is just like a turn 1 play that most likely it's the same theory, same concept as Overflowing Affection, that you don't play it until you know what your opponent is playing. So most likely I'm not going to play it turn 1 or turn 2 unless I'm 100% certain that what color my opponent is playing. So in order to get that early filtering, but if you're going first, you're not really worried because you will always have 1 extra resources to play Overflowing about turn 2, turn 3, or maybe even turn 4 if you don't have 2 cost unit. You can even do like, let's say, 2 cost unit plus a 1 cost unit, and you still have 1 up to play your Overflowing Affection / red Overflowing Affection. So that will allow you to play everything on curve. That's why I love this deck so much, because you can play almost anything on curve, and that will allow you to filter your hands, fill up your trash, milling your trash, and be able to get everything you need to set up for your Lupus later, or your other units that you need to fill up the trash for. So yeah, I think this is what I should expect for Gen Con, but I just still didn't get a chance to upload my gameplay because I need to like post only the best gameplay possible, so don't waste you guys' time. So this is what I'm expecting. So potentially I'll be playing one out of those 3 tier S deck, which is red white G Fighter, green blue New Gundam, or potentially blue red Strike Freedom, which is, I'm really excited to play that deck, but I need to play more before locking in the deck. I'm a big Strike Freedom fan, so if you guys have been following, you guys know. If you guys new to the channel, like I'm telling you guys, I'm a big Strike Freedom Gundam Seed fan. So I'm trying to play what I like, and those are the biggest mistake that I've been doing since GDO 1 is trying to play the best meta deck. But I've lately figured out that playing the deck that you're most interested about and the deck that you like, or the character that you like, or the archetype that you like, is the best way to go, because you'll be more excited to play the deck than playing something or being a meta slave to play what people think is good. I think the best deck is the deck that you enjoy the most. So if you understand the meta, any deck you play from tier S all the way maybe tier A and slightly tier B, you will be able to win a tournament with that deck. So make sure that you play a deck that you enjoy and just tech the cards that you need in order to counter the current meta. So the more you play your deck, the better you'll be at it, and you don't need to change deck. And the same theory, same concept that I've been learning lately with my teammates at Riftbound, that they always tell me lock in the deck very early and you will figure out how to play against the other deck. Because if you're surprised your opponent with a deck that most likely that your opponent never saw before, you have advantage against them because they don't know what your late game package is. So you're gonna surprise them. Oh, is it a G-Quox, or is it Lupus, or is it a Strike Freedom, or potentially like a new Gundam, or even like potentially like a DX Gundam. You're gonna surprise them, and if they do a wrong meta call or a wrong deck call, or they're not expecting a unit, and you catch them by surprise, most likely you're gonna win the game because they made the wrong card call earlier because they did a mistake. So you're gonna punish them for that mistake. So I think that just stick with, like I said, stick with the deck that you want to play and that you like, and most likely you're gonna do well with it. So it doesn't mean that everybody's playing tier S deck, that you're playing a tier B deck that you're not able to win. So like you can surprise people at the NTC and win a tournament, and even originals. Like for example, if you guys watch one of my previous video about Ken, he was playing Academy and he won a whole 9 rounds with a deck, and he only lost because he bricked last round against Jacob, which is the guy who played red white Justice Blocker, I believe. But now he's the one who gave me the deck list for purple white, and he won a new type challenge with purple white. So that's all I have to say about this meta. So hopefully I'm gonna do well at Gencon. I really need my invite, and I really need to top my first regionals for Gundams to get my invite for the Nats at Bandai Fest later this year or early next year. So yeah, this is my tier list, and share your feedback, what you think about my list, my tier list for this weekend, and we're gonna get more information. So this is based on what I looked at the tournament at Eggman, what the top list is. So, but I still feel that this is the meta based on what I saw during the Eggman tournament last weekend or last week. So yeah, this wrap up my tier list, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't been done it so far. I think about like 82% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and please like this video and share it if you can to support the channel. And I will have a lot of meta guide for the last 5 decks that I mentioned. So and after that, I will share the deck profile on my channel in the upcoming weeks about different deck lists on top of the Metafy guide. And if Metafy guide, if you guys would like to purchase, that's the best way to support the channel, or just become a member to my channel, and that will be very appreciated. And the top members have early access to my deck profile. So I'm most likely gonna just drop all my deck profile for the next 4 weeks, and the members will have early access to that if you can support the channel. So thank you for watching. On to the next one.